Hello, welcome back to Collected Creations. In this video, I'm going to talk about what my partner deems as a influencer event that I went to. And that's the title of the video. It's technically an influencer event. Not really, not in the traditional sense of people with a lot of subscribers or followers get invited to an event and they all get to socialize and then take photos for their Instagrams and whatnot. Nothing that fancy schmancy. Also, like, yikes, I don't think I'd ever want to do that. But instead, it was actually a premiere for a new show that was being launched on YouTube, courtesy of Screen Australia and what's their program? I actually wanted to write it down just so I could remember. Their Skip Ahead program. It was the life of Kia. Kia being a character as well as the surname of Liana Kia, who is a YouTuber. She's got I gotta get these stats right here. She has 3.58 million subscribers on the YouTubes, which is pretty damn good if I dare say so myself, given how minimal I've got. But yeah, she's got a new show, Life of Kia. And I figured, look, I want to talk about this as a video. I'm not exactly going to do a series review, despite the fact that we literally saw the whole entire show in one sitting at the cinema, which was fantastic. So I'm not going to do any spoilers or anything. I will say, in terms of the show, in terms of quality, it was fun. We all had a blast. Great audience was there. A lot of them were It seemed like it was a 50-50. Half of the people that were there seemed to be people who worked on the show, which is great. I love when they can screen stuff for the people who made it, like the actors, the producers, the cast and crew. It's wonderful. I love that kind of stuff. But they also had, friends and family, relatives, other producers, other people who were part of the Skip Ahead program. One of them was Julian O'Shea, who's another YouTuber and very popular on TikTok, who talks about Melbourne locations, and I recognize him from his videos, so I'll talk about all of that. I guess I'll go in just terms of how it all came to be. I guess it's probably best to do that. Yeah, Julian O'Shea, who would have known? So yeah, I won't be talking spoilers about the show, but I will be giving a brief review as to what I thought of it. But yeah, so what happened? My partner had invited me to the event. I had no idea what it really was until the day before, when her mum sent me details and basically gave me all these screenshots of the emails that they'd been given, detailing what it was, where it was, what was going to go on, the whole function. It was this premiere of this show. It was 6:30 to 7:30 was the meet and greet and everything, getting drinks, all that stuff. It was at the gold class bar at the Jam Factory, which is nice, even though I've never been to the Jam Factory, and that place is hilariously empty. But a good venue kind of for this, because it's you've got no one else around, realistically, even though it was a big cinema complex, because it was Village Cinemas. But yeah, so it was great. We got to meet Kia, Liana, and she was really nice. She went around, met everyone, talked to people. Obviously, there were people there who were much bigger fans of her work and wanted to communicate more with her, so she was in conversation with a lot of them, which was great. I can't say that I'm a big fan of her work, because I hadn't seen any of her stuff until that very day, because I figured, look, I don't want to go into this blind. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be I'm getting a free pass to see a premiere of a show that I'll probably not care about. I didn't want to go in with that kind of mindset. I want to be look, I want to do my research. I want to look into this person, because I don't know if my partner and her parents and their family, who, it's mum's best friend's, daughter's friend, who's the producer, co-director of the show. It's became a blood tie that led us to getting into the premiere, which is nice, and the producer was lovely, producer / co-director, as well as the other co-director. We met them all, very nice people. I put in the research. I looked at her videos. I went through a bunch of her videos, her skits that had to do with this character of Auntie Kia, all this stuff that she was doing, and I'm this is in my mind, I was this is the Asian equivalent of Super Wog, and I was that's great, because it's I know exactly his style of comedy when it comes to joking around with stereotypes from your own culture and whatnot, and portraying multiple characters in like the cheapest way possible by literally buying like $2 wigs and shit like that. Like, a lot of it to add to the humor, and a lot of that worked quite well. Like, I understood exactly what she was going for immediately, how she was like doing her more popular content. I watched her more popular videos on YouTube and whatnot. Like, all that stuff that's been published to YouTube in terms of shorts was on her TikTok and whatever. So clearly she knows what she's doing in that short form and long film content, and they obviously were like, hey, here's the show, let's make a show out of it, whatever. Same thing with Superwalk. It's great to see. It's great to see, like, I was going to say small Australian YouTubers, but I'm like, no, it's just great to see Australian creators who are big on social media platforms actually get to do something big, and with a big production company, in this case being Screen Australia, which was wonderful. Apparently they were saying how they applied for the program, which they only asked for like $55K to make the show, and they were given $150K. So they were given a huge budget to make the show, which was like, I think it was 4 or 5, 6 to 7 minute long episodes. It was kind of hard to time them because of it was all played in one go. There was like no end credits between each one, which I imagine there are on YouTube. But it flowed really nicely. Like, it flowed as one nice narrative. I'll get into the show later, but yeah, it was. So I did my research. I watched the videos. I'm like, I understand this girl's humor. I understand what she's going for, and it was cool. I was like, that's cool. All right, let's see how this goes. And so we got up there, and again, it was a nice, warm welcome. Everyone was nice. It definitely seemed like a lot of people knew each other because obviously a lot of them were colleagues. Now, I realized after the screening that I'm like, I've seen that guy, and I realized, oh, they're all people who are here tonight because they're all part of the cast. So that was a fun little thing. Again, meeting Julian O'Shea was great because I was like, I know that guy. I've watched a bunch of his videos. So he was really great to talk to. It's also fun knowing that these creators aren't just doing this. Like, for Leanna, it's her, her job is acting and producing and stuff like that, which, makes sense. A lot of people who do that kind of acting part of their, short form, long form content aspire to actually make TV shows and be an actor and whatever. It makes sense. But when I met Julian, he was saying, it is weird that he also has the same name as me. It was a thing. But it was interesting because he's has a degree in engineering, and he is a lecturer. Like, he's a tutor at a university, and it's like, oh, he just does this stuff on the side, but he's a part of this program. He's got his own show coming out sometime next year, which is really cool. It's interesting to see how many people are getting picked up for that stuff. One of the other girls who was a part of the show, who unfortunately wasn't there, which sucks because I love her videos, who I didn't realize she was even Australian. She was in the show, but she wasn't able to be there at the event. But she's also a part of the program. So it's I'm pretty sure she's part of the program, but they definitely at least mentioned the fact that she was another content creator and whatnot, which is just cool. So there are people, if you see the trailer for her show, she's the girl, the bank girl on the phone, the redhead. But yeah, I like her videos as well. I've been watching a lot of these people's videos for the past couple of years. Not compulsively, but off and on whenever I go on TikTok or whenever it pops up on the YouTube shorts, that kind of deal, It's just nice, It's nice to recognize people and actually in this case meet them, and they were really nice. So I don't know. It's an Australian thing. We can just be nice people. It's weird. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. It's nice knowing that people who make videos like myself. When Julian was asking me about what I do, and I was like, I do warehouse stuff. I do live streaming, but I also do this stuff, the physical media stuff, as my channel. So it's I'm not as important as these people are here. I'm not as well known, recognized in a crowd like these people. I mean, I am actually decent. I've been recognized in a crowd by some subscribers, which is fun. But it's just nice. It's nice that we can still communicate. It's not there's no pedestal here. It's nah, we're all just regular Joes, It's fun when you realize that people aren't just one thing. They're like, oh, you know them for this, but they actually do all this other shit, and they've got this whole other life, But yeah, so we went to the screening and we watched the whole show. They introduced it. We just went straight into it, basically. Watched the whole thing in one go, which was really nice. It was 40, 45 minutes. Then there was a Q&A, which was really cool. A lot of people were asking questions about, the production, how long did it take, all this kind of stuff. They were saying it was a 2-week long shoot from 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, that kind of stuff. There was a whole bunch of stuff they're talking about what the most challenging stuff to film, the easiest stuff to film, the fact that they've got a music video coming out. There's all this stuff that they're talking about in terms of production, and it was just really interesting to see that kind of, how much work they put into it to see what they got and where they will hopefully be continuing in the future. And I, like the idiot I am, because you could ask questions anonymously, as my phone, because there's a QR code on the screen, and I was able to add in my question, and I was like, who would win, Kia, as in Auntie Kia, or the Predator? Because I thought, if you're going to go with the stereotypical Asian mum who will hit you with a shoe or a handbag versus the Predator, I mostly thought of that because she done this Mortal Kombat video where it's these kids are being angry and annoying, and it's how would Auntie Kia react? Choose your weapon and some Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I didn't know she'd get the reference. The connection wasn't exactly there. I talked to her about it later. It was funny because she was like, "Which one's the Predator? Is that the one where the alien comes out of you?" So it was a funny thing. It was nice. I liked how they still use my question. It was goofy stuff. But yeah, so they did obviously say to not film it or whatever, so to not broadcast for future episodes. The rest of the afternoon was good. It was just we went back into the Gold Class place, had some food, had some drinks, talked to the cast and crew, got photos, and sung happy birthday to Leanna. It was great. Yeah, there was a good mixture of stuff, and then Helena and I left. And it was good. I didn't stay for as long, but I didn't really need to because I'm not the important person here. I've enjoyed my stay. Everything was nice. And I'm I kind of want to make a video out of this. Obviously, it's actually a day later than filming this because I had to go to bed. It was late. But it was good. The overall experience was really nice. I'm going to do a review of the show first before I actually talk about whether or not I thought it was a good enough influencer event, but we'll get into that. Review of the show. It was funny. I enjoyed it. It was exactly what I expected stylistically, but it was also nice to see the variety of casts and how they shot things. There was a lot of good visual imagination there. It's obviously they used their budget to the best that they could, and it was good. It was fun. They're 7-minute long comedy episodes. It's I don't have much else to say about it. I don't think I had a favourite, but I did laugh a lot, which was good, because my girlfriend was concerned that I wouldn't understand the type of humour, especially her mum was saying, it's oh, I don't know if you'd like this kind of humour, because, it's obviously, Asian stereotype stuff. I'm no, I get it. I get the joke, so it's good. I like how, I think my favourite part was how they mix languages, because I watch a lot of movies that have subtitles, and she was saying how she wanted to make sure that when they were making the show, they obviously didn't want to prioritize Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever other language. They wanted to primarily be English, but then they would mix in some random lines of dialogue that would, you'd think it felt natural how they were talking. They'd start talking English, they'd mention something in a different language to each other, both of whom could understand, and then they'd go back to English and kind of do it back and forth like that. And, they added subtitles and stuff. None of it was oh, we're not going to let the English audience know what we're saying. It's I think it works well both as a version of the stereotype as people will do it. I'm familiar with people who speak multiple languages and who can dive in between English and Spanish or Chinese or Cantonese or Mandarin or Italian or whatever. I'm very accustomed to that, working in a very multicultural industry. So it's really nice to see that in the show, the fact that they still went and did that. So I thought that was probably my favorite, more commendable part of the show. But it was good. I'd say check it out, check out her channel. But it's not, obviously it's got nothing to do with physical media, but I wanted to just, obviously give the shout out. And to Julian O'Shea, because why not? But as an influencer event, what did I think? Because again, I don't really consider it that much of an influencer event. It was a celebratory party of, hey, we've done this show, it's coming out tonight at midnight, because of course you think, why would a show come out at midnight in Australia? Because that's when it gets peak views in the US. Trust me, I know. All of my videos come out at midnight for a goddamn reason. It ain't midnight for the US, that's why. So they're releasing episodes episodically wherever this video will come out in the meantime. I don't know, it could come out in November, because this whole event happened in October. But yeah, it was interesting, because it was as a social, as a thing to, because it said in the like pamphlets that you got that like, oh, you know, take photos, you're going to be in photos, feel free to share stuff. And I was like thinking, when I got there was nothing that emphasized like a hashtag or anything, something to be like, hey, let's do like our own promotion of the thing, like everyone who's here can be taking photos, getting the professional photos done, as well as doing stuff for like Instagram, whatever, or for Twitter. There was no hashtag, no nothing like that. I posted on my story on my Instagram story. I did a hashtag for Life of Kia, but I also tagged in her Instagram, and she reshared it, thanking us for coming. And I was just like, that's the only thing I could think of. It's like there's nothing here that like, but I don't. That's why I don't think it was really an influencer event. An influencer event would have emphasized, oh, make sure you're sharing, making sure everyone knows that this comes out. I don't think they set it up that way. I think this was simply they're doing a celebratory party of this show's done, the season's coming out tonight, or the first episode's coming out tonight, but we can watch the whole season right now because it's all edited, and we want to celebrate, thank everyone for making the show, you know, free food, free drinks, that kind of stuff, and, you know, free entry basically as long as you got the invite. So yeah, I think it was simply that, and I respect that as someone who makes and has made film and media. I like that about it. So, yeah, again, I wouldn't emphasize a influencer event, but just definitely hey, the show's done, let's congratulate ourselves, let's watch it like a viewing party. It was cool. It was nice. It was sweet. I liked the Q&A parts. It was good. It was a good overall experience. I imagine that the party went on for hours. But yeah, no, it was really nice, and they were really nice to meet. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation to be in where you're invited to an event that you have no relation to whatsoever. And luckily, because I'm not stupid, I figured, hey, I'm going to put in some research and actually try to figure out what this is all about and understand who this person is. Because I don't want to go blind and then be like on my phone trying to listen to her TikToks and be like, oh, I understand what she's doing. Like, I didn't want to go in that level of blind. I'm like, I want to do my research. I want to know what I'm going into. I want to, like, be respectful of that. I don't want to just be like, yeah, this is great. Well, I don't know. Who are these people, you know? I knew two people. The person who was hosting the thing and one of the other YouTubers. So, yeah. But no, as an overall, it was fun. So, yeah. So, if you watch this, Lana, which you won't, but still, if your producers do, thanks for the invitation. It was wonderful. Good luck with the show. I hope it does well. And thanks for watching, everyone else. I guess check out the show. I'll put links down below just in case. It doesn't really matter if you don't care, but I figured I'd put out the shout out anyway. This isn't paid promotion, don't worry. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.